So for our last construction in lesson 2-3, we're going to copy an angle. And when we talk about copying an angle, that can also be called constructing a congruent angle to the angle that's given. So that means I want to make another angle that's exactly the same size as the angle I was given. And that means I need to put a new angle, I have to construct a new angle and place it somewhere else on the paper. So in order to do that, I need to start off with a location to place this angle. So we're going to start off by making a reference line. So I'm just drawing a place to put this angle. And I'm going to put a point on here that will become the copy of vertex A. So I put a point there just so that I have a starting place to make my angle. And the key thing to remember about this construction is that every mark you make on the original angle needs to appear on your new angle, so that way every measurement that you have made is matching the ones on your new angle, and that's how you can ensure that the angles are congruent. So the first step to do this is similar to what we just did when we bisected the angle, and we're going to make this first arc so we can locate 2 points that are the same distance from A. So I'm going to put the bullseye on A, and I'm going to stretch the slider out whatever distance I want, just as long as it's going to hit through both sides of my angle. And I'm going to draw that arc. Now remember, I'm copying the angle, so I need to take this measurement and transfer it onto the angle I'm building. So that first measurement, that first arc that I made, I need to duplicate that on the angle I'm creating. So I'm going to take that measurement and I'm going to transfer it over to this diagram that I'm creating the angle on, and I'm going to do that exact same arc. Sometimes I make it a little bigger just so that I have enough of an arc to measure the rest of the things I have to measure. I want to make sure that I didn't draw the arc too small. So there's the same arc on both. Now, to copy this angle, what I want to do is I want to figure out what I like to call how wide this angle is, the space that this angle is opening up to make. I need to measure that space. So I'm going to measure that space between the 2 points that I have just made. So I'm going to measure from this point, the bottom one, to the top one with my compass. So I put the bullseye on one of them and the slider on the other. And remember, you need to leave evidence that you measured, so you're going to draw a little arc just to show that you measured that distance. Once you've measured that distance, what you need to do is transfer that measurement to your new angle. So the bullseye was on the bottom of the angle where the arc hit the bottom, which matches to here. So I'm going to put the bullseye, since I just had it here, I'm going to put the bullseye right here on that point. I'm trying to find it exactly. And then I'm going to draw an arc through that intersects with the first arc I made. And then once I have that point, I can connect this vertex to this intersection point. And once I do that, I have copied the angle.